Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to our weekly Essential Island Living Team call. I'm so grateful to have you all here with us tonight, February 12th, 2020. So crazy. All right, before we get started, let's go ahead and grab out an oil that's speaking to you. Go ahead and take 3 deep breaths. And if you wish, place your hand over your heart. Repeat after me. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. All right. Okay, so we have a really jam-packed call tonight, but I'm really excited about it. Fraser's going to share with us about On Guard. And as we know, this month there is an incredible promotion with On Guard products. And I just actually got my 200 PV order in the mail today. So I got a free hand soap. Absolutely love our hand soap. Sanitizing mist I just made. Hold on, just because I want to show you guys because they were so cute. And it was my way to sample my entire son's soccer team. We're going to Oahu for a soccer tournament. So I made all of them an immune blend and gave them all the sanitizing mist. I didn't have enough. I sold a bunch. I had to get some from Kate. So, but I gave all of my son's friends this little, and a bunch of them were so grateful. And one mom is a Young Living. She's like, oh, I've been wanting to try doTERRA. So maybe this will be what makes me switch. And I'm like, oh, whatever. I just love people using oil. Okay, yeah. And so On Guard hand soap, On Guard sanitizing mist, a bottle of On Guard, hello, and then of course the On Guard touch. So, all right. So Fraser's gonna do that. Do we have a DIY tonight, Fraser? I didn't check in with you at all. Nope. Okay, so no DIY, which is totally okay because you guys, it's On Guard. Hello. And after that, Kate's gonna talk to us about the daily mentor calls 7 and 8. Is that correct? And then Michael had asked to share tonight, and I think this is a topic that we can all share about, those of us that have experience. She did a vendor event at the Teacher Institute Day, which, hello, I'm a teacher. I go to Institute Day, did not think about doing the vendor event there. So her and Cami, her team enrolled 2 people there, and they wanted to share about their experience. And I know lots of us have done vendor events, and yeah, so we're gonna wrap up the biz portion of the call for that tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Fraser, and it's nice to see everybody here. We have a jam-packed call tonight. Hey everybody. Oh, Tawny, thanks for joining us. Okay, all right, go ahead, Fraser.
Can you guys hear me good? Yes? Okay. Sorry if it has like background noise, my washer and dryer are going. But I figured I would do On Guard since it's the promos this month. We have amazing promos with the On Guard. Liza already went over it. So I want you guys to think of it like this. Like for people who aren't really familiar with On Guard, like if you're watching the playback for the wholesale customers. But if somebody is standing on guard, then you think that they're there to protect somebody. So it's the same thing for the blend. It's called On Guard, and it's our protective blend. So we can use it to protect us, to protect our family, and to protect our home from environmental and seasonal threats. So On Guard. And it's used for its aromatic benefits, its internal for an internal supplement, and it's an effective topical cleansing agent. So On Guard, the On Guard blend consists of 5 essential oils. So the first one is cinnamon, and it's known to promote healthy immune system, and it can also help freshen your breath. And then wild orange and cloves, that's the next 2. So both of them have antioxidant properties, and they both help support a healthy immune system. And wild orange has an emotional uplifting aroma. And then the last 2 are eucalyptus and rosemary, and they both support a healthy respiratory function, and they both have energizing and uplifting aromas. So this combination of oils in this On Guard blend is a powerful protective blend, and it's something that everybody should be using for themselves, for their families, every single day, kind of like throughout the day, to help build your immune systems. And so it can help with your respiratory function and your immune support. And there's many different On Guard products, so it's not just the On Guard oil. There's also, I'm going to show the 200 promo items. So then you get the On Guard essential oil for free, so the 15 ml. Then you get the foaming hand wash, the hand sanitizing mist, and then you also get the On Guard touch roller for free. So all 4 of those. And then we also have the On Guard throat drops, laundry detergent, toothpaste. There's like many different things, and it's a good way to incorporate immune boosting properties all throughout the day for everyone in the family. So there's many different ways to use it. So some of my favorite ways is for my kids with a roller every single day before they head to school. I'll rub it on the bottom of their feet, on their wrist and elbow creases, and then up and down their spine every single day before they go to school, just to help give them an immune boost. And then if they happen to start getting sick, then I'll do it in the morning, when they come home from school, and then before they go to sleep, so multiple times a day. But it's just really good to get that into their system. And then I love diffusing it, because not only does it help purify the air, but it also smells amazing. Every time people come over and I have it diffusing, everyone wants to know what it is. It smells so good. I love it. And then one of my favorite things to do, and I learned it from Cami, was I add 2 drops to my coffee in the morning, and it tastes really good. So if you haven't tried that yet, try that. So 2 drops in your coffee, or if you're in your morning tea or something, and then you can add honey with your tea. So that's really good. And then I love cooking with it. So adding it to your fruit, adding it to your oatmeal, to your muffins, to your pancakes, to your cupcakes, but just things that you cook with, you can add it to. Yeah. So those are some of my favorite ways. But I wanted to see if anyone would like to share what are some of your favorite ways to use it. Even if I already said it, just what are some of your favorite ways? You can unmute yourself. Okay, Keisha.
Hi, everybody. This is something that I learned from Kanan. As you all know, Kanani is the queen of On Guard, and it's something that I never really thought about, but the emotional support that On Guard provides. Early on in one of our EIL 101 class, she says that because it's a protective blend, she'll put some in the palm of her hand and then just kind of rub it over her heart and take a good whiff of it. The emotional protective support. So if you're walking into a room where you know the energy might be bad or negative, I thought that was really enlightening, that she said she uses that to help her be protected.
Thank you. That was a good one. I've never heard of that one. I should try that when certain people come over to the house. Diffuse that quickly. Anybody else want to share?
One of my favorite ways is just a drop on honey. So anytime I'm not feeling well, or my throat is scratchy, and I just put a drop right on honey, like my mom is always giving me like local honey, which I'm not complaining about. I just think it's funny because she's always giving me honey. And it's one of my favorite ways to take On Guard. So, and it's funny that you said that about how much you love the smell, because when I first started oils, I feel like I was so sensitive to smells. I didn't like the way that On Guard smelled. Like, it was really strong for me. Now it's absolutely one of my favorite smells. And just on an aside note, I was driving, my best friend came to pick me up to go to CrossFit tonight. So my car's in the shop, and she had like a freaking artificial like car freshener, and I seriously thought I was gonna pass out. It was so disgusting and gross.
So I used to love those, but now that I started using doTERRA, like just the smell gives me a headache.
You know, like the jelly ones
Yeah.
in the containers, and I was just like, oh my god, I gotta get you a car diffuser, Jolene. It stinks in here. Like, it was so gnarly. One more thing I want to just say about the sanitizing mist is, like, because obviously I had a few parents were like, how do I use this? It was really cute. I gave them to, like, half of them were dads. They're like, what do I do with it? But everybody was so open-minded, so it was really sweet. But you know, the sanitizing mist, you guys, like, tables that we sit on, like hands for sure, tables we sit on, airplane trays, anything airplane, I mean, porta potties, I mean,
The handle on the well, not stroller, on the cart in the stores.
Sometimes I just spray that stuff right into the air, you know. So sanitizing mist is so versatile. So Kanan wanted, I think.
Oh, Kanani. Or who?
Just one quick tip, because I know, Fraser, I think you coach baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my boys play baseball too. So I love to use the concentrate on their white baseball pants. It's like such a winner. So anyone that has kids that play any sport that they have to wear white, I hate white. The concentrate is like your best friend. Or even us, like if I spill whatever on my shirt, the concentrate is key.
I gotta try that, because all their uniforms are ruined. Oh, Michael, did you raise your hand?
Okay, can you hear me? This one's not with the oil, but the On Guard throat drops. I saw it on Instagram. Somebody heated up water, and I guess when they're at work or on the go, they throw it in there, and then they just like stir it, and you can see like the little On Guard drops float to the top. So you just like sit over it, and it's like a steam mug, and then it's like through like soothing for your throat. It's so good. I like
just have to mute and say that's brilliant. Brilliant. Love it. Yeah.
So that's mine.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say how they use it?
Another little quick tip, which I'm sure people know, but like the beadlets, peppermint and On Guard, I love carrying those too, just because I pop them a lot of times. So if I don't have peppermint oil on me, I just pop a peppermint beadlet, rub it on my temples, rub it on my chest, you know, do everything I would do with the oil in the bead. So that's how convenient the On Guard beadlets are as well. You know, if you need a quick On Guard fix, but you might not have the oil, but you have the beadlet, don't be afraid to pop those bad boys too. So.
Oh, another way that I love to use it is I love to clean with it. So I add it to my cleaning sprays, and I just spray that like on everything. So it's really good to just like kill all the bacteria, kill the germs all over the house. That's one way I love to use it. Anybody else? What, Michael, what are you trying to say?
Somebody that just enrolled, she's pregnant, and so they wanted to know, they just got the laundry detergent, they want to know if it's safe to use on the baby clothes too. Have any of you guys done that before? I mean,
yeah, I'm sorry, I did. With my older two, I didn't use oil, so I just used Dref. But with baby Cody, I used my On Guard detergent, and it was fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Oh, one thing, sorry. I honestly use like a billion different ways. One of my other favorite ways to use it is as soon as my boys start getting sick, I make them like a apple cider vinegar shot. So I do like 2 tablespoons in a like little shot bowl or something. And then I get honey and then On Guard. So I put 1 drop of On Guard inside the apple cider vinegar. Then I get honey, put it on their tongue, then they shoot down the apple cider vinegar with the On Guard, and then I put more honey, and then that's how they take their On Guard. Yeah.
You're
That's
rough. I mean, my boys do On Guard shots, but that's hardcore.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried doing that and I have a hard time, but they're okay. And then they just chug water afterwards. I mean, it tastes junk, but the honey helps if you try that.
That's awesome. I know some moms who do. My kids, I've tried before in the past, and I think I just never force them. They're great at swallowing, so it's really good. Like they'll swallow the On Guard soft gels. I will take On Guard soft gels. Take them too. She's kind of hit or miss, but the beadlets are great. She'll swallow those, no problem. But I know a couple of moms who make their kids take an On Guard shot every single day just for preventative measures. So I really think it makes a huge difference. Yeah. All right. Oh, Keisha. Anything else?
One quick one I've tried, in a roller ball, I just put the On Guard concentrate. And so it's like a good replacement for the Tide to-go pen. You just want to make sure you have water with you so that if like I'm at a meeting or something, I spill coffee, I'll roll on the concentrate from my roller ball and I'll just follow it up with water and it seems to work good.
Oh, that's a good one. Should write that down.
Okay.
Right. Does anybody else have anything? Or are we going to move on? Okay. You're going to unmute yourself.
Okay, it's not, well, I use the sanitizing mist, but it's just a funny story. When I first started using On Guard, and I don't know what made me think I could spray it in my mouth. It was a little alcohol-y kind of, but then I'm still here, so, it's safe. So just in case, that people know that you don't use it internally, but I thought On Guard was like everything, but it tasted funny at first, like, oh, how could it taste like that? It doesn't taste like the oil, but maybe because it's in the spray, I don't know, but I realized somebody told me, no, you don't put it in your mouth. Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody. That was so awesome. On Guard for sure is such a staple oil. And I love that, Fraser, because that just opened up, like I love the On Guard drop idea. I had heard of a few of them, but I'm sure everybody picked up a new tip or trick with some of the On Guard products. And this is a pretty common one, but if you guys don't know this one, the On Guard hand soap is my go-to like fruit and veggie wash. So, I mean, I just squirt a couple pumps, strawberries, blueberries, anything with skin. And then I lost mine, but luckily I just found an extra one. I have a travel size hand soap pump. Like it's like this big, like it's TSA approved. And if I had to, carry it on, and I travel typically with On Guard hand soap too. I pretty much hate all other hand soaps now after using On Guard. But so like, when we're going and staying in a hotel this weekend and you want something to clean the fruits and veggies real quick. So anyway, I'm sure that's a pretty common one, but all right. Oh yes, Marissa, see, if you have leftover HD clear face wash bottles, those are the perfect size for that. Is basically the travel size. So if you have that product, and if you don't use it, like I don't order that one, go in the group and say, anybody have any extra HD clear face wash bottles? Thanks, Marissa. Yes. So good for the upcycling. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Fraser. That was really great.
You're welcome. And then for everybody who shared, I'm going to mail out a Valentine's themed vinyl sticker to you guys for sharing.
Thank you. You guys did such a cute job at your make and take this last
thank you.
job. All right. I think we're going to turn it over to Kate now to talk to us a little bit about the daily mentor calls. And
all right, here I am. So good to hear about On Guard. I love that we shared about one of our staples, because I think the other ones we've done have been a little bit not so mainstream. So it was great to hear so many different ways to use the On Guard. Thank you so much for that, Fraser. And we're going to just kind of continue off where we were on our daily mentor calls. We finished up last week with 5 and 6, which was kind of starting to get into the sampling after we rated our list and all those things. So 7 and 8 are all about sampling. They definitely connect to each other. And I have to be honest, I've actually listened to these calls 3 times because I listened to it a while ago, and then I listened to it last week, and then I listened to it again while I waited for my daughter and dance yesterday. So I took some quick notes. If you've listened to them, I'm just going to do a little recap of both calls, and then I'll open it up to the team to share what you've tried so far, what you're planning on trying, and just check in with everyone on the sampling. So call number 7 was the introductory about sampling. One of the big tips is give them for free. So Liza had a great example of how she's gifting forward those samples to her moms and families on her team, and dads, I should say, with the samples. You don't want to charge for samples because that's going to turn someone off right away. Also with sampling, people want to get better. If they're having some sort of issue, that they want to get rid of that more than they care about you giving them something they're unfamiliar with. So people want to try something that's going to help them. So don't feel intimidated about giving a sample. It's a gift, and it's going to help them, obviously, in the long run. A tip with the samples, if they have multiple health issues going on, go with the easiest one to solve first. If the example she gave was Lou Gehrig's disease, that's huge, and that's something that they're not going to see results with like that. So you want to go with something that you know they're going to be able to see the results the quickest with. So you just give one sample at a time for one issue at a time, which I thought was genius, just to think about it that way. And with that sample you're giving out, you want to go with a cheaper oil. So if they're having acne, you're not going to give them a sample of blue tansy or yarrow palm right away. You're going to start simple. Give them melaleuca, give them lavender. And as they try different things, if something's not working, then you can try something else. But start with the cheapest one, because those are the ones, your melaleuca, your lavender, that they're going to be able to use for so many other things in their homes right away. So you want to go with what's easiest to use, cheapest to use, and what they're going to feel the most success with quickest. So that was kind of pretty much call number 8. It was kind of a quickie one. And then call 7, sorry. And then in call 8, she rephrased, kind of reminded us of those tips. And then she talked about how you present the sample. She also reminded us, which is perfect, and sometimes it's not always doable, but we always want to try to give samples in person because it's more effective. You're able to have that personal connection when you're doing it. I know I've sent samples to the mainland, and honestly, those samples, I have not had anything happen with them. So sampling in person, if possible, is the best. And when you're sampling in person, you want to do a couple things. You want to set some expectations with the person you're sampling with, and then you also want to give an essential oil guide with them, with the sample, whatever type of guide you want to use. She talks about the A to Z guide, which I haven't used that one, but I have another. I've probably gone through a couple different ones over the last few years. There's a bunch on Share Oils or Aroma Tools that are little ones. I should have grabbed one. For a while, they were selling those Simple Living ones. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're on the site anymore right now. I tried to buy them again after I bought a ton because I ran out, and they were not. But we'll double check on that. And if you know the answer, please jump in or put it on the chat. But those guides are great because one of the things she talks about when you give that sample is you want them to have that guide. So as soon as they have that success with their sample, they can look in the book and they can start to think about other health concerns that, oh, maybe the oils could help with that. Oh, it is. Okay, thanks, Fraser. It must have been just temporary. It was gone for a while. But yes, those Living Can Be Simple guides are really nice because they go over the top 10 health concerns people use essential oils for. So it's laid out that way for a purpose, and those are really helpful. So on to the expectations.
Can I say something real quick?
Of course.
I do love the share oils ones as well. They're a little bit more, I feel like, cost effective wise. The ones from doTERRA are a little bit more inexpensive, but these from Share Oils are really, really nice as well. And I think they're not too bad. They're definitely going to cost you about $1 each. She usually puts them on sale, but these ones have a little bit more about, like, there's actually recipes in here, diffuser blends, just a little bit more detailed than the ones from doTERRA, but still great options. I wanted to come on and say I currently have a code. It's not my personal code for Share Oils, SWEET10, SWEET 10. So even if you're not planning on ordering anytime soon, it's not my code. But I downloaded this thing that like pops up discount codes on websites, and it popped up. So I know a lot of you guys love Share Oils. And what I found is it pretty much covers like the shipping. So anyway.
That's funny. I was just texting with some of my girls earlier. I always like Google Share Oils coupon codes, and I look for whatever codes and I plug it in until I find one. And exactly, it usually at least covers the shipping. So then I feel good about getting free shipping at least. But yeah, there's a bunch of books out there. Find what's cheapest, and that has like an A to Z guide, I think is helpful based on the recommendation from Elise. So with the dropping off the sample, kind of moving back to that, you want to have this script memorized on how you explain it, because you don't want them to have a negative experience with the oil or it doesn't work that you sampled with, and then they're like, oh, forget this, essential oils don't work. So she's created this script to kind of ward against that. So it's similar. These are my notes, so it's not exactly word for word. Go back to that PDF that's in our group and you can print the word for word. But it's something similar where you're introducing how essential oils are similar to medications. When you have an ailment and you get a prescription from the doctor, if it didn't work, you don't think, oh, prescriptions or medication don't work. You go back to the doctor and you get something else. So essential oils are the same. You're going to try this oil, and everyone's bodies are different. If it doesn't work, come back to me and we'll find something different for you to try. Super, super important that said, because as we all know, everyone's body works differently, and something that might work for me might not work for Liza. So the script, I think, is laid out pretty well. And one of the phrases that really stuck out to me was, she says, here's what we are going to do. And we've done a lot of work at my school and thinking about team and we and pronouns with I. So instead of what you're going to do or what I'm going to do, it's a we thing. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to try this. You're going to take this sample. You're going to, let's say it's Serenity. She gave that example. You give them lots of ways to use it. You're going to put it on your pillow. You're going to diffuse it. You're going to put it on your bottom of your feet. You're going to put it on your hand. You're going to cup and inhale. And then what I will do is I'm going to call you in a few days to see how it goes. What time what's a good time for me to call you in 2 days? So then you're kind of locking in your follow-up time, and it's based on what they want. And you're doing it together, so this person feels that they're supported, and they're like, oh, wow, if this doesn't work, she's going to let me try something else. And then the key is actually following up, which is always actually, in my experience, not the easiest thing to do because life gets hard. So creating a system of reminders on your phone or putting it in your calendar so that you follow up with that person, exactly when they wanted to do that. I think that was the biggest, those are the big kind of things. Sorry, to close it off, actually, she then mentioned, the goal from this sample is they have that positive experience and they think, oh, wow, I can't believe this oil helped me with my sleep. I wonder what else these oils can do. And then they open that guide that you have gifted them and they can start looking up other health concerns that they have. And they start to hopefully reinvent what healthcare can look like for their homes. So yes, that is call 7 and 8. I have over the years done some sampling in a lot of different ways, never this structured and never with a memorized script. So I do feel like this is going to help me with my sampling as I move forward. And I need to do it. I haven't gone through this process yet. So that is on my to-dos this week, is to give at least 2 samples out and use the script and this process as I do that. So would anyone like to share either kind of some big takeaways from these 2 calls and or maybe their plan as they're moving forward with sampling?
Real quick, just a show of hands. Oh no, Aisha, I want you to share for sure. But is anybody who listened to the 2 calls? Who listened to the 2 calls recently? Okay, all right. Aisha, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Oh, I don't know what I was gonna say, but I'll say something. What I really like, I like the memorizing script thing, because I think back to when I first started teaching classes and didn't want to do it because I didn't know what I would say, fumble over words and stuff. But then I think about listening to Liza's calls, or to her classes over and over and over again. And then I noticed myself naturally saying things that she said, even if it's only half of the sentence, but still, so I get the memorizing scripts and how that could be very helpful. And I have not recorded myself yet, but I'm gonna. All right, bye.
Well, and I think I might have said we needed to role play this week, but talking about the vendor event is going to get everybody off the hook with that. So, but actually what I wanted to say in regards to Aisha's memorizing the script is Elise always also says some people would say, but that's inauthentic to do that. I loved her response of no, by knowing what I'm going to say, what I have to say, the message I need to convey, it frees me up to really listen to what they have to say and not worry about what I need to say. And I thought, oh my God, that's so true, right? And so I thought that was really powerful. And last week, for those of you guys that were on, we did talk about the fact that, listen, we've been doing things and they've been working. So what we're presenting with the back to basics is kind of a flipping the script. And I'm not going to stop inviting people even if I didn't sample them yet, but I definitely can see how this back to basics approach is really duplicable and really focused on giving people an experience beforehand. And I just want to give my own real quick success story. I did not do it exactly the way she did it, but I had told you guys that when I remade my hundreds names list, I went through my phone contacts and I reached out to people who were in my contacts that I had never contacted about oils. One of them, she was an A name, Alicia. She was the butt squared that I the teacher, and I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, that's her code name on Facebook, so her high school students can't find her. She was one of them. And we worked together years ago. I reached out to her. I asked her if I could sample her. I did. It was pretty much immunity for a son. So I sent On Guard and Stronger, a Stronger mini roller and a sample of On Guard, and kept following up. And she enrolled, I think last week, Wednesday, I was texting her. So, although I agree that in person is also best, as you're working in your hundreds list, I love that I kept it simple. Typically, I would mail out like 5 different samples. Like, oh, here, let me throw in a deep blue packet and a this and a that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so by keeping it really simple and focusing on her one main need, which was helping her son boost his immune system. So anyway, I feel like if I did it more consistently, all of it, because after that one round, I haven't revisited this whole process yet. I really think that it could pay off. And I'm not going to stop doing it the way that I used to do it, because that also works for me. But this is also another way for me to start up-leveling myself too, and adding more strategies to my repertoire. One more thing, I just posted about this tonight. There is a free Back to Basics training on Oahu this Saturday. So I did tag the Oahu girls. If you have anybody on Oahu, I can't go. My kid is in a soccer tournament, and so I can't leave that. But you probably will get an entire guide printed out for free at the training. So go check out the biz group if you're on Oahu, or if you know anybody and they might be interested in attending. I know it's kind of last minute, but still wanted to put it out there. Okay. All right. Somehow I took over the call. Sorry. Beth, yay, good.
Can I ask you a quick question? So when you didn't talk to this person forever and a day and you decided to chat with her, did you do small chat first, or what do you say in your text message before you say, can I sample you?
I'll read it.
Okay.
I think every person is different. You don't want to come across as like, I just want to hit you up, depending on who the person is. But this was my first text to her back on January 2nd. Hey, Alicia, it's Liza. Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your spring break. I've been teaching half-time for the last 2 years because I've been sharing doTERRA essential oils with friends and family. Sadly, I make more doing this than teaching. Sad that teachers don't make more. Laugh out loud. I wanted to see if you were at all interested in essential oils and how they can support you and your family. I would be happy to send you some samples and info. Please let me know either way. I will not be offended at all if you're not interested. I hope our paths cross again soon. XOXO Liza. So super like personal and honest. Like, this is what I'm doing now. Are you interested in it? You know, I'm not trying to pretend that I want to just connect with you. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I have a purpose for connecting with you. Now, I think it's who you're reaching out to. Like, you have to know that person. But that's the same text I sent about 10 other people. A couple of them already said they used oils. A couple of them didn't respond at all. A couple of them were like, Liza, I'm so happy for you. La, 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 this is what I'm doing. But nothing about, yes, I would love to, learn more. And then my response was like a catch up, text, asking more questions. And then if you're ever interested in essential oils, please let me know, kind of thing. So, and they're still going to stay on my list, and maybe 6 months or so, maybe if I'm on Oahu, I'll invite them to a class or whatever. So, but that's my text verbatim.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then she said, hi, Liza, Happy New Year. So glad to hear from you. I'd be happy to learn about it. That was that. So, yep. Hope that helps. Go for it, Danny.
Hey, I had like a big aha moment because this idea of sampling with vials separately and not giving like the whole bottles is new to me. So I accidentally re-listened to call 6 before I listened to 7 and 8. And this light bulb went off for me because she said there something really key that I was like, okay, I'm like jumping into inviting people and kind of inviting too quickly. And also maybe I'm trying to ask them to buy too quickly. And what she said is the more touches you have with a person over time, to actually take your time in the prepping before you ever invite or ask them to buy, you'll have more success. And for me, I was like, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong. So I just want to know what your guys' feedback is on that, because I'm kind of like striking out a lot right now, but I'm also think I may be approaching it wrong. And I'm also not sampling properly yet. So I don't know. Do you have any advice for that?
I do, but I'll let others go first. So, Mom.
I would say that I tended to be a lot like what you're saying, Danielle. I would want to, talk too much or say too much, give out too much. One of the key thoughts that Elise had was you give one at a time so that you have more opportunities or excuses to be able to speak with that person again, right? Because again, like you said, the number of times you come back to connecting with them is what is really key to building that trust. So, and I would say that you haven't been sampling wrong. You've just been doing it differently. Just been trying to find what works for you. So it's all good, So don't say that you've done anything wrong, because you have done something. So that's the key. You have actually taken action. So girlfriend, high five, So action taking is really important. So it's a hit and miss, right? So now you're learning some skill sets from somebody like Elise that is really great at it. And the things that she has said is just so enlightening for me. And a lot of times you want to take it all in. Just do one thing that works, that she suggests. Just do one thing that works, that feels like you can do it. You know what I mean? And do it well, or do it naturally. Like Eliza was saying, that she, what was that thing you were saying, Liza, about talking to them and giving them the sample? You still do some of it your way, Liza, but you're taking Elisa's advice at the same time and trying something else too. So it's all good, Danielle. You're doing great.
Anybody else want to share about that? Go
I'll
ahead.
jump in real quick. I completely agree with Auntie Sherlyn, because I feel like I've never sampled like this before. I definitely see the value in it, and I know I do a ton of inviting without sampling, and it's worked for me for quite a while. But I see that how this could work even more effectively. So I keep doing the action, and then as these calls are rolling in, I think we're just building to our skill set, adding new tools in our toolbox that we can add, and like Angie said, just making it more authentic to who you are and the people that you're helping. But if we're always coming from a place of our why, of why we're doing this, we're trying to help the most people with their health and really change that healthcare industry and helping people this way, then I guess just keep coming back to that. That's why we're doing it. And so don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. We're all finding our way with this all the time. So keep at it.
Anybody else want to share something?
Okay. Sorry, I want to share something real quick. I've been talking to a girl, that's why, and it made me think of what you said, Danielle. I've been talking to her for a few months now, and she's my classmate, and she had a new baby. And when I was talking to her, she was still pregnant, and I was trying to help her with oils for labor and delivery. And I guess, whatever, it didn't work out. And then she delivered, and then she reached out to me again. And then I suggested a few oils to help her and baby. And it didn't work out. I don't know if it was a financial thing or whatever, but I would always just check in, and it would be very basic and just loving. Like, hey sis, how are you? How's baby? How's it going? What do you need? Then tonight she texted me out of the blue, hey, I need oregano. I was like, whoa, I haven't heard from you like in 3 weeks. But that opened the conversation for like, hey hun, what's going on? Like, what do you need oregano for? It's our natural antibiotic. What's up? Are you good? How's baby? And then she's just like, I just feel overwhelmed. I don't know what to get. And then I just kind of texted her our basic enrollment kit. And I was like, I think this is super basic. This is kind of a good place to start. And you can add on oregano. And let's meet. What's your day off? Because she works 2 jobs and has a newborn. I'm like, what's your day off? So sometimes that's kind of what it takes with the touch idea, with just kind of checking in. How's it going? How are you? And it just happens sometimes. Like, I need this. And you're like, oh, okay, you need this. Let's do this. Let's do it. But the keeping in contact and so much from your heart, you know, very like sweet and genuine, which you totally seem like you are.
So good. I love all this collaboration. It's so amazing. We learn so much from each other. I want to say that I 1,000% do not believe that the market is saturated. Dr. Hill said once something along the lines that as long as people are having babies, there'll be a need for our essential oils. So no one's going to stop having kids anytime soon. Maybe Kanani will stop. Maybe. We'll see. But and I'm saying this because now, honestly, I actually forget why I'm saying this. Oh, because what I do think has happened, though, is that essential oils have become more mainstream. I think more people are aware of them. They're hearing about them. People are using them. And so you want to be that person. And I feel like maybe this is part of my success as well. I've been talking a lot about business on my Instagram. I've just been feeling compelled. See a lot of people in other multi-level marketing companies really pushing the business. And while doTERRA leads with the product, I feel like maybe we don't talk about the business enough. And that's something that I am compelled to do, and mindset and that kind of stuff. And so I think that you want to be that person. You don't want to confuse your people, your customers, your community with who you are in terms of, you know, what company you're aligned with, what products you're aligned with. That doesn't mean you can't use a bunch of other products and perhaps even share and post about them. But you want to be that person that when somebody thinks about essential oils, they think about you. And so I think that that's where this sampling comes into play, because more people are aware of essential oils, even if they don't know about them or are using them, they're more aware of them. So you have to now be the person to create an experience for them. Whereas before, I think when I started sharing, their curiosity was enough. Now I don't think the curiosity is necessarily enough. It's creating an experience that's going to set you apart and being that person that they're going to trust and come back to, like, you know, Kanani's example. I feel like it kind of went like this, but does that kind of make sense too? Like, and so I'm still not going to not invite people, cold invite them, because that has worked for me, but I can see how this process is also a valuable tool that might help me to be more successful. And maybe it's time to start, you know, embracing that or adding that tool to my tool belt. I also want to say this, especially for those of you that aren't making a ton of money yet. We do not want you spending a ton of money on this. You know what I mean? Like, make it economical for you. Be smart about how you sample and share. But just be that person that your customer base or your community can count on. It's so crazy. Today, I literally got 2 referrals from a person I don't even know on Instagram who gave me somebody's contact information. And then one of my best friends on Oahu. 2 people reached out to me today that I do not know at all. But I think that comes with that whole, like, when people think about doTERRA, I'd like to think they're thinking about me, right? And then that's why I'm getting funneled all of these referrals. So that was really long-winded, Danny. I agree, though. The fact that you're taking action is critical. That's half the battle. So keep on doing that, but keep being willing to explore, you know, new ideas and new ways of doing the business if what you're doing now isn't working. Oh my God, that was really long-winded. Okay, anybody else? I felt like I had good points in there, but then I don't know, it just kind of like blah, blah, blah. Also, just going back to the as long as people are having babies thing, I mean, 2 of my most recent enrollments are literally the age of my daughter. They're like 21, 22-year-old moms. So all y'all need to be remembering, and I'm like so excited to help them launch, because my God, if I got started sharing this business at 22 years old, dude, I'd be presidential already. Come on. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kate, so much. Love it, love it, love it. Next week, we are going to move on. Is it just call 9 next week? Just call 9, because then call 9 wraps up this whole section, and then we go into part 2, which is effective inviting. So next week is just call 9. Who's facilitating next week's call 9? Is it Kanan? Okay, good. This will be the Zoom link, but I may not be here next week, Wednesday. I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, so we are over time, but if you would like to stay on, we are going to chat about vendor events. So I'm going to have I'm going to turn it over to Michael to share about her experience this last weekend and what she's learned. And then I would invite anyone and everyone who's done a vendor event or would like to do a vendor event to ask questions, share, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so take it away, Michael.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay. So a lot of people first asked how in the world I even got a vendor booth, and it was from sharing. I was signing in at our office, and somebody was coughing, and it was somebody who I tried to avoid just because of interesting comments that this person makes. Anyways, I was like, oh my gosh, I have my On Guard throat drop with me. Do I give it? Or do I just like let them cough? And I was like, oh God, just give it to them. So I was like, here, just take this. Like, what is this? Oh, this doTERRA essential oils. You need it. You're sick. Just take it. They're like, okay. So as I'm walking out, she's actually like our union rep. And she said, oh, you should have a table at our Teacher Institute Day. And I was like, God, like, thank you so much. So a lot of the success, I would say, has to do with all the different people that God has put in my place and relationships over time that kind of helped me to be able to have a successful event. So I actually did it with Cami. Cami's on right now. She can't show her video because she's putting her little one down. And I had it with another one of my builders, Christine. Christine is with her little one, so she can't come on right now either. But I ended up following the Lisa Zimmer kind of vendor method. If you don't know of Lisa Zimmer, she's on Facebook and then she's on YouTube too. She has 2 different Facebook groups and they're really good. You guys want to go follow them. It's Lisa Zimmer Essential Oil Biz Tips and then Lisa Zimmer Yay Oils. So usually her YouTube videos come from her Yay Oils site. But then her biz tips have business tips. So her Yay Oils is more like our VIP group. Her Yay Oils is for builders. And so I was watching her videos and looking up pictures of vendor events even before this had come up. So when the opportunity had come up, first I jumped at it and I was like, yes, I want to do this because I don't think anybody else did it. And then doubt comes into your mind and you don't know if you're going to be able to do it. Are you going to be good at it? This is the first time we've ever done it. Like Fraser and I have done classes every Sunday, but doing a vendor event with other teachers, like it scared me. And so thankfully I have a supportive spouse from our call. Okay. He's like, no, you're going to do this. And so he actually went on Etsy and on Amazon and ordered me like all my tablecloths. He got my little like drawing slip box and he's like, boom, 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 you're doing it. I don't care. I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And so after he said like, okay, do it, I talked to Cami and I was like, Cami, do you want to do this event? And I think even she was really nervous because she's like, wait, what do you mean? What are we going to do? So I sent her pictures. I said, Cami, this is the table that we're gonna have. I already have everything. I just need you to get the trifold. So instead of doing the natural solutions like handouts, because we weren't doing a class, we did the trifold from Lisa Zimmer. Oh yeah, there you go, Liza. So it has all of our names, has some of the kit, in case you guys don't know what it is, top 10, how to order, all that good stuff. So we had that there. And then I spent the Saturday, Sunday before Monday to kind of just set it up. And I would go over with her and Christine how we're going to do it, how we're going to kind of get people into our booth. So another thing of that was sampling. Everything else was empties. Thank you, Fraser. Fraser gave me her whole empty top 10 because mine's not empty yet. But we would get people into our booth by saying, hey guys, do you want free doTERRA? So if they said yes, we had them fill out this thing. I don't know, it's backwards, I'm sorry. But it's Lisa Zimmer's 60-second enrollment. It's like part of that. You have people fill out stuff, and part of your booth after is you take notes and you write down like, oh, you said you have questions on stress and immune and health. What, like, tell me some more stuff. And so we would write down information, and at the end when they left, we'd write our name on it if we talked to them, and we'd put it inside the little drawing. But if they weren't into getting free doTERRA, we were giving them, what was it? Deep Blue, the unscented hand lotion, and the Citrus Bliss. And then we were also putting peppermint and wild orange on them. So we would have them smell it. We would do it with them, put it on your neck. And it was great because some people came to our booth, then they went to go register, they did all their things, and then they came back to our booth after. So it was like they were able to have like that moment, that touch. They went off, did their thing, and then they came back, and sometimes they had more people with them than when they first came to our booth. So that was really nice. But if you haven't seen her system yet, it's really awesome. It's kind of like a little story where you walk your people that are coming to your booth through things. They sample, they enter to win. You go over like what's the specialist for the month, go over how to order it, go over your classes, and then like, hey, you have any questions? You ready? No? Okay, I'll call you later. So Cami actually enrolled one person at the class or at the vendor event. I enrolled somebody there. And after, through these follow-ups, we would tell people like, hey, yes, you did win a goodie bag, or hey, you didn't, but I saw that you had these concerns. And I've enrolled another person tonight, and I have 3 more that I'm working on. So that's going to be 5 enrollments just from one event. And that's amazing because we do classes every week and we talk to all these people every week, but you don't really get that like, yes, I'm ready to do it. So that was awesome. And she even has, through her 60-second enrollment, she has like a script that you go through if you want to talk to them, if you want to text them. So what I did was I just texted it to Cami and to Christine, and I told them, this is what I'm telling people. You can add stuff, whatever you want. You can take out things, but it actually worked. I was really worried about whether it was going to work or not, but people will let you know like, hey, yes, I'm ready to do this, or, oh, it's not really for me. So you know that they just kind of wanted the freebie. But even if they didn't win, we said, hey, you can have like a free wild orange. We'll meet you. Let's do coffee. Let's talk about your wellness goals. And then people will let you know whether they're ready or not. But even if they're not, kind of like Liza said, and Kanani said, like, you just keep talking to them, or every time you see them, they associate you with doTERRA essential oils. So that was something good. I think consistency has been like the word of the week or the month, like consistency, just do it. I will post the 60-second script. But Lisa Zimmer also talks about you have like 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours to get in touch with these people so that you're still fresh in their mind. And just so that you know who you're kind of talking to. but it's been really good. I was surprised how it worked out, and everything fit in literally like a clear bin. And so because they're empties, any one of my builders could say right now, like, hey, I'm doing a vendor event tomorrow. Can I borrow it? Yeah, here you go. Take it. I'll post a picture. Okay, I'll post a picture of the setup.
I want to say something else too that's really cool. Mike, they didn't take any product to sell. They took
No, none.
So if you think about this, and this happened to me at a vendor event, I did one on Saturday, and I have a really funny story. So this guy comes up with his daughter, and the daughter was younger. I think she was in high school, and she's like all about the oils. Oh, Dad, I love this or that. You could kind of tell she was like, you know. And I was like, oh, do you use essential oils too? And he's like a super local guy. He like Howley local guy. You remind me of my dad. And he's like, oh, I have bad psoriasis, and so I use oregano right on my psoriasis, and I said, wow, you just put that right on your skin? And he's like, yeah, but it works. So whatever. He goes, but I'm going to tell you something. And I was like, what? He's like, don't put it down there. And I was like, what? And he was like, because that's where my psoriasis showed up first. And I put it down there, and it was hilarious. I mean, F-bombs were coming out of his mouth. He was like, and I was like, well, did it help? He goes, yeah, it went away. But I mean, I was in so much pain. I mean, it was hilarious. But the moral of the story is, he's like, do you have something else that would work? Because I don't like the way I smell. It's not about the fact that it burns. It's the fact that he doesn't like smelling like a big pot of spaghetti. So I said, yeah, helichrysum is the oil that's recommended. And he's like, do you have any? And I did. And the whole time I said, oh, it's really expensive. And I'm like, Liza, you're totally screwing the pooch on this one. And he's like, well, how much is it? And I'm like, and then I can't charge people retail when it's that expensive. And I'm like, well, it's $75, which is not even the retail price. It's the wholesale price. And he's like, well, I mean, I need it, so let's do it. And I'm just like, you need to enroll this guy. I didn't enroll him. Let him buy my $75 bottle of helichrysum. Screwed the total pooch on that one. Then his daughter came back and bought 2 rollers. Anyway, more of the story is, if I didn't have any product on hand, this is a very different way to think about it, you guys. And I thought it was interesting. Would have had no choice. Well, you enroll. You pay this $35 fee. You get your helichrysum. You can pick up a bottle of Breathe for your daughter. You know, you get a free On Guard Touch roller. I mean, it just is something different to think about. So I thought, when she told me that, I was like, wow, they went for one purpose: to sample and to connect with people and to get contacts. And I think sometimes when we go to vendor events, we go with like selling product first, enrolling people as an afterthought, you know. Meanwhile, I'm texting Janet Cook on the side. If you guys don't know who Janet Cook is, she's like insane enroller. Like 20 something enrollments a month, plus 30 sometimes. She enrolls primarily at vendor events, and I'm texting her. She's at a vendor event, and she enrolled 7 people that night. And I guarantee you, Janet Cook's primary focus is not selling product to them at the event. Now, I don't know if she takes product to sell. I have to ask her that. But anyway, anybody want to share any? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, it's funny that you like talked about that, because like I had bought things to sell, and my husband was like, yeah, babe, go ahead. You get your 5 On Guard hand sanitizer spray a month, like build up your little thing. And then I watched her videos on like, she doesn't sell any, Lisa Zimmer doesn't sell anything. She just has stuff. And what you'll find too, a lot of people were telling Cami and I like, oh yeah, I love the oils. And we're like, oh, so you have your own account. That's one thing that she goes over to. And they're like, no, I buy from my friend. And I was like, oh, so your friend's getting all of your free points. Oh my gosh. And so I was like, if Target did that for me every time I shopped there, I have so much money. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, I can teach you how to get free products when you buy, but you've been buying for your friend, so she gets your free stuff this whole time. They're like, you're kidding me. So one of the ladies that I enrolled there, she's like, oh my God, I love Deep Blue. But she was buying it from a friend. So I was like, hey, this is what you get, 25% off. We have Facebook group, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, I'm ready to do it. Let's go. And I was like, okay, awesome. So yeah, we didn't sell anything. But a lot of people did want to buy things, but they only came to our booth. Like, they wouldn't stop if they already had an account. They stopped at our account if they use it and they get it from friends, which was interesting. It's like the people that need to come to you, come to you. And it's just a matter of you going from there and figuring out what else you're going to tell them.
Anybody have anything else that they want to share? Thank you, Michael, so much. Really, really awesome stuff. Yeah, Mom.
I want to say, Michael, that here, you guys did such an amazing job, you know, just rocking it. But I was just going to say to you that the fact that you just mentioned that the people that are passing by your booth and stopping are the people that have already used the product. Somebody's already done the touch work for you.
Right.
So now, you know, you're just going in there and kind of, okay, now I'm going to just, and your approach to it was, oh, your friends have been getting the points, right? It's like, what a great introduction for you to just continue on and introducing them to enrolling, right? So yeah, that's a great way to look at it, that even though their friends have, the friends have been the ones that introduced them and kept them using the product. So now you're just opening up the door to, you know, another, hey, what other things have you got going on that you haven't explored with your friend? You know what I mean?
Right.
So just another way to touch base with them. No, just great job, guys.
Thank you. And Cami and I were talking too, because we're like, why do so many people, or we were trying to figure out who are they getting this from? And so we figured out they're not getting products from wellness advocates, because wellness advocates wouldn't do that. They're getting it from wholesale members that are trying to probably make their 50 PV or just get the free points. And so we're like, hey, like, we're not stealing you from anybody, because a wellness advocate wouldn't do that.
Thank you for saying that, because I did want to pause real quick and just talk a little bit of doTERRA ethics real fast. That we never want to be the team that is ever accused of poaching anyone. We want to always be ethical. And I love that you said that, because it's true. Most times these people are buying from other wholesale customers who are like, if I get other people to order this month, I get the free 200 PV products, right? I get the points, I get the Raven Star, I get all the freebies. They're probably giving them wholesale so these people don't feel like I'm really missing out because I'm getting the cheap price. But you always want to kind of ask the question, have you been talking to anybody? Has anyone ever shared about the wholesale membership with you? You just always want to, like, you know, always present and be ethical with it, because you would hate if somebody that you have been talking to and sampling or whatever rolled up to a vendor event and then got enrolled. But I will say this, it wouldn't happen because you would have talked to them about the benefits already. So I'm really grateful.
And I just want to say how proud I am of Cami. Cami, you're on here. I'm super proud of her. This was obviously her first vendor event too, but she even left it saying, now that I did it, I know how easy it is. And now she feels comfortable enough to take her builders and to go ahead and do that with them. Like, we can literally just pass this bucket around. Here you go. Do your vendor event, bring it back to me, and people can get enrollments. So it was awesome. And I think it was great for people to see, like, okay, I get it from other people, I buy it from other people, but my group doesn't do vendor events. Like, we were out there, we were visible, people could see us. And even somebody that was at post convention, they came up to me and I was like, hey, I saw you from convention, you were at the on-guard table. They're like, girl, how'd you get this table? But it was my former teacher was in charge of doing all of the registration and stuff. So I told her, thank God I wasn't a butthead, because she hooked us up with like the best spot on campus.
Vendor events are a phenomenal opportunity to make new contacts. If you ever have the opportunity at, or know of them. I mean, they're really, really great. I've enrolled a lot of people at vendor events, not as many as Janet Cook, but they definitely can pay off. So if you're ever curious, I don't have a ready to go basket, but that's definitely something to think about because I definitely have all of the elements of things. So please, reach out to us, but keep it simple. Connect with people. Janet Cook always says, I never talk more than 30 seconds. I ask them questions. I let them talk. You want to have a way to collect their information. That's key. So that you can follow up with them. So that little giveaway slip is really important as well. So this is definitely a topic that we could revisit, but we went way over time tonight. So I definitely want to wrap it up. Thank you to Michael and Cami and your entire team for showing up and doing the vendor event. And okay. Anything else before we wrap up for the night? Thanks, Michael, for going into the biz group and posting a picture of your setup and also just your 60-second enrollment script. I've talked about Lisa Zimmer's, products before. I've done some of her What Would Zimmer Do training courses. They're super affordable, usually $20 to $30, and I get a lot out of them. I haven't fully. I'm more of a collector of tools, and then I still sort of blaze my own trail. But definitely another take on one way to share the biz. She doesn't just talk about vendor events either. So definitely join her free Facebook groups. Her Yay Oils one is a public education one that she has even non-customers in and customers. And then her business one is obviously for business. But what I love about her is she opens it up to everybody. It doesn't matter. And she's all about ethics, and she'll always redirect people back to, go back to the person that talked to you about it, or let me know and I'm here to help you. So as always, everyone, let's take a quick pick. Janet Cook asked me about if she took products. So let me read that before we get off real quick. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what Janet Cook said real quick. She says, I sell enrollment kits. I do take some excess oils, but that is not the goal. So pretty much what we figured. Yeah. All right, everybody. And I just got a text from somebody from Wailuku School. My boy started with the oil when he just had the sniffles, and it did get him, but he didn't have to miss school. Seems like it helped him fight it off faster. On guard for the win. All right, everyone. As usual, thank you for showing up for yourselves, for your team, for your community, for your businesses. Please listen to that podcast that I posted about. I think I posted about it in both places. Network Market Superheroes. Simon Chan. It's the episode with Simon Chan, the most recent one. So much goodness. Consistency outweighs intensity every single time. One of the things they said is that when people go too hard, too fast, then they burn out. And also that when you are not consistent, people forget. They don't make that connection to you and your product that you believe in. And so I think that kind of came up a lot tonight here in terms of building yourself to be that person that when anyone asks about oils, you're the person that they think of. It was funny, Marissa, I sat next to somebody on the plane. I can't even remember who it was. And she knew I was doing doTERRA, and she goes, you know who else is doing doTERRA? My former student, Marissa, and she's doing so well and this and that. And it was so cool because you were the person that she connected with doTERRA. And so we want to be that for the people in our communities, not just new people, but for the people that we've already welcomed into our family, right? We want to show up and be there and be of service. And we never want them to think we've fallen off the face of the earth. Where's my support? So, okay. Good night. Good night. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up always.